Hey guys, Rhino50 here with some World Warships Legends content for you. Tonight I have my first game in the Foudre. Now, if you didn't receive the Jean Bart in the campaign a while back, one of the first campaigns, which I did not, this is going to be either a great alternative or possibly even better than the Jean Bart. Now, I've been wanting to get that ship for a long time, and this one happened to come out. And so I did latch it up, and this is my first game in it, and I want to give you my impressions of it, and then also put some, maybe some thoughts in your head that might be a better option than the Jean Bart. So some minor differences between the ship is the secondaries have more range and are better, supposedly, on the Foudre than the Jean Bart, and there's some other minor differences between the two ships as well. But let's go ahead and get this match started, and we'll talk about the Foudre and kind of if I think it's worth it for you to purchase, and we'll get started here. So as we start the match here, for those of you that have played in matches with some Jean Barts, the typical reaction when the match starts is I think the props are reversed on the prop shafts on the ships and they end up moving backwards. I haven't figured that out yet, but this one I start moving forward, look over at the Jean Bart next to me, and of course he hasn't started moving yet, potentially maybe even going to move backwards. So when I notice that, I'm not going to push too far forward without some support. So I'm going to go ahead and at this point decide, well, if those two aren't going to move, I'm going to cover the D cap and help these guys get that D cap so we can kind of move around in a clockwise formation around the map and get that done. My first salvo right here, right through the saddle of the hill or the mountain at the Lion, was an HE salvo. Obviously, this is the first match in the ship. I hadn't even changed the ammo in it yet. Take a shot. Get 5,600 damage and a fire immediately on the Lion as the Ochakov starts shooting at me, so I'm going to turn out away. Don't feel like being on fire the entire match, especially in the newest ship in the game, which, as you know, tends to be the bigger target. So we're going to move around towards the decap. We're going to take another shot at the Lion here. As he starts backing up, he did put his fire out and started backing up. We get that salvo out. I do end up hitting him for about another 6,000 damage there. We see the Boise broadside moving ahead. And I was really happy with the dispersion so far on this. That was a great AP salvo. I thought it would hit for a lot of damage. Ended up only getting maybe, 7,000 damage on the Boise there. Brandenburg selling broadside, as I did notice that the Boise is going to be turning out away after we hit him with that 7,000 shot. So we're going to shoot at the Brandenburg, and we hit him for about 11,200. So right off the bat, we're at 32,000. We fired four salvos. So we're doing pretty good. We're going to move just parallel with the Brandenburg here. Take another shot at him since he doesn't seem to want to turn, and we're going to start turning in towards the decap. Get this bow of this ship pointed that way. Again, Jean Bart's designed to push that bow in towards the target. When I'm doing that, I want to make sure what's behind me. I look over, and sure enough, there's another Foudre in the game. Selling, pretty much broadside, so we take a shot at him. I'll take, the best target-rich shots I'll take. Hit him for about 8,600 as he is turning in and bow tanking towards me and towards the other ships that are in the B cap. Boise's running away. He's at my maximum range here, so I figure I'm just going to take a shot. I might get lucky, catch a good shot there. I didn't end up hitting him, I don't believe, on this. So now I know I've got a battleship and a cruiser directly in front of me, and I've got the Foudre right off of the right side, and I'm bow tank. I want to stay kind of behind this island and not push forward so he can citadel me to take the shot, and I'm spotted immediately. So now I realize, okay, there's something else there, and about the time I was spotted, the Iowa shows up right in front of me. So now I know I have to deal with that. get my bow towards him as much as possible, and also turn my bow towards the Foudre because I really don't want to catch citadels, but this leaves me open for the lion, who takes his shot, and thank goodness he does not connect with that as well. Take a shot at the Iowa, and again, the dispersion, really good in my opinion. I'm running Robert Gijard as my commander, so I do have somewhat of a dispersion build anyway. I didn't build into the secondaries yet. You'll see a little bit of that, later in this game, how the secondaries do work. But I decided, I'm going to build it as if it were with the Jean Bart and see how it works for me. I fire another salvo, hitting for 11,000. So we've hit the Iowa for two really good shots. I'd have to rewind the video to remember what the first one was, but I wanted to say it was close to 15. So we might be, in that 40, 42,000, 43,000 range. Now he's bow tanking now, at which point I'm going to back up. I'll play the bow tank game with an Iowa. The Foudre is still up. Kind of want him off the board, so we're going to take a shot at him. He's backing up, bow tanking our other ships. And so I'm going to take a shot to try to help these guys either whittle him down or get him off the board completely as the Iowa continues to push. And I see that the Iowa is turning broadside to me. So I'm going to get the bow towards him while I'm taking HE fire from what I find out later is the Boise, coming back and firing HE at me. So we fire our last salvo on the Iowa. Decent salvo, not the greatest dispersion, but dang good enough to get, 29,000, 2 citadels and sink him. Now we're done backing up. We're going to move back forward. Try to stay behind the islands here to the right, so we can't be on fire the whole match with our HE spammers. Now that those ships are out, my teammates that were, pushing back as far back in the map as they possibly could decided, okay, we can move forward too. And we start moving with the intent to get the decap finally. Now I know I've got the Lion and potentially one other ship over there, which I thought was the Boise, but I think the Boise ended up circling around out of range, and then he was the one firing the HE at me over the mountain. So as we move forward, I'm going to keep my guns to the left because I know the Lion for sure is over there still. I want to move into the decap, but everybody else is moving forward parallel, so we're all going to be bound up here in just a second. So I can't get my bow clear over there. The Lion shows up. I'm not going to miss taking that shot. I fire. I stay unspotted. So now I figure, well, I'm just going to move straight ahead and get behind this island that's right in front of me here. Didn't hit anything with that salvo. I think I may have led him too far. He was reversing, and I may have led him too far on his reverse. Not able to shoot the Boise or the Ochakov because they're both behind mountains. So we're going to take another shot at the Lion. Now it's just moving forward, trying to find out, okay, are we going to get around these islands to shoot these 2 cruisers? Or are we going to continue to shoot at the Lion, who now is completely bow tanked towards me? But we're going to continue firing at him because he's the only one we have a shot on. All right, the Ochakov pops up there. As you can see, I'm not going to be able to clear rounds over that. So now we're bow tanked towards the Lion, so I feel pretty confident that we're okay there. And with the intent to move out and around towards this Ochakov. We start doing that, and the hipper, which I hadn't seen the whole match, shows up, and he happens to be sailing completely broadside. So we fire, hit the reload booster immediately, hit him for 17,000, which I feel probably should have been a dev strike anyway. And we fire again as he's turning out, so I leave my rounds a little high and short to catch him, thinking I'm going to finish him off with that salvo, take another 7,000 and leave him on a hair. End up taking another shot at this guy and not killing him. I think I get like 1,300 damage on the last one, and my teammates end up cleaning up the kill, which they did quite a bit in this game, as I recall. Yeah, 1,300 damage. Chapayev gets the kill on that, which he may have had a fire on him. All right, so we're going to move around on the Ochakov finally and overpen him with pretty much everything we shoot, but we're still going to take those shots. Anticipating that he's firing torpedoes, but hoping that I'm just far enough out, or I can get my bow around towards him so I won't be taking those torpedoes. Now, I do know the Lion is still behind me and still up, so, but if I can get my bow towards the Ochakov, take him out, keep my stern towards the Lion, we should be in good shape. So right there, I did hit my secondary booster, by the way, as I was broadside to the Ochakov, and we ended up getting, what, 33 secondary hits with it, doing a little bit of damage with that. We did not start a fire with our secondaries, though, which would have been nice. Now that the Ochakov goes down, again, a teammate cleaned up that kill as well. We're going to head towards the Lion, who is heading directly towards this island between us, so he can basically put his bow right into it to avoid being shot by most of us. I'm just raising up my sight to see exactly where is he going, what position is his ship in, and again, he's nosing that ship right into that island, which at that point, he's got only one direction he can go, and that's backwards, so I want to just basically go straight ahead and close this distance to get the shot on him as he's backing up. Which is just what he does there. Fire a salvo. Now the dispersion on that wasn't fantastic. I mean, I think the closer I am to the ships, maybe the dispersion isn't that great, but we did hit him for a little bit of damage. We're up to 189,000. We're going to get another shot on him, I think, before he goes down. As he starts to move forward. Don't do a whole lot of damage there. Looks like we had a breakup, 3 ricochets, and he goes down to other teammates. So we're at 191,000 damage. Again, first match out, 191,000 damage. I'm pretty excited with the ship. I think the fact that the Jean Bart has not come back out and they bring this out, this might just be, to me, I'm going to say it's the better alternative of the two. You'll have to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now it's just trying to find the Suzuki, I believe, that is still alive out there somewhere. Which I don't believe from here on out, we don't ever see him again. So I'm going to fast forward to the end of the match, which is just 1 minute and 16 seconds out here. So that's the end of the match. We end up with 1 kill, 4 citadels, 3,064 base XP, which, again, first game out. I'm pretty excited about this Foudre. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think it's going to be a good ship, if you think it's going to be a better alternative to the Jean Bart. And I'll get some more content out to you guys soon. Have a great evening.